Hey, I'm Tim, an online ESL teacher helping teachers to build their teaching businesses. If you're looking to go solo, to build your own teaching business, I really recommend grabbing this course. It's going to be super helpful for you, and I would love to see you in the launch community. Hey, and 95% of you are not subscribers, those that watch these videos. So please do the channel a favor. It doesn't cost you anything. So appreciated by me if you would hit subscribe. And if you like this video, please hit the like button as well. Hey, before we get into all the BookNook stuff, if you are interested in applying to BookNook, please use the direct link that is in the video description of this video to apply with them directly. You know, as a VIPKid teacher, I heard about BookNook a lot when I was teaching actively for VIPKid. VIPKid was recruiting teachers within the platform to also teach for BookNook. I didn't know anything about it, and because one of the requirements is to be in the US, it wasn't a company that I was able to apply for, and it was a little bit different than ESL teaching, and so I just really, to be quite honest, didn't explore it very much. I kind of glanced over these emails, but because my channel really is about online teaching options, about diversifying your online teaching portfolio, not just working for one company, but expanding, I wanted to learn a little bit more about BookNook. You know, one question I always had was, why is VIPKid involved with BookNook? What is the connection? BookNook is a tutoring platform for US-based students, and VIPKid is an ESL platform that was based in China serving Chinese students. So there didn't seem to be a lot of overlap, and I was sort of confused with why BookNook and VIPKid were connected. Well, I found out the scoop. Basically, you now have a choice. And if you're anything like me, you might be saying, Tim, what the heck is BookNook? What's VIPKid BookNook? What's the difference? Well, I'm gonna get into all that, explain to you about BookNook, why it might be a great option for you, and as I said, at the end, I'm gonna explain to you how to apply directly with them and what VIPKid's involvement was to begin with. Okay, so here are the details. BookNook is an online tutoring platform. They're based in the US, and they sell tutoring services directly to schools. BookNook is a one-on-one and small group tutoring platform providing services, tutoring services, to students in kindergarten to grade 8. So tutors use BookNook's created curriculum and platform to deliver lessons directly with students over a period of time that builds consistency, and often tutors are meeting with students between 12 and 24 weeks. And currently they've got contracts with over 400 schools in 35 different US states. You know, with the pandemic, interruptions in teaching, and the move to online learning, struggling students have fallen even farther behind. And BookNook is essentially a program to help bridge that gap. All right, now let's look at some of the BookNook features. So with BookNook, you are going to teach groups of 1 to 4, K to 8 students who need reading or math intervention. You teach live online lessons. You use BookNook's learning platform designed around state standards. There's no prep or lesson planning required. You meet with the same students each week for 12 to 24 weeks, and the pay is $18 an hour. So what are the hiring requirements? Well, essentially you need to meet one of these 3 conditions. You need to have either 3 years of teaching or tutoring, or a bachelor's degree and minimum of 1 year teaching or tutoring, or enrollment in a teaching credential program and minimum 1 year teaching or tutoring. It's also very important to note that you must be able to legally work in the US. In terms of the application process itself, applying directly with BookNook is very easy. You will click the link below, you'll fill in a short application asking a little bit about your teaching credentials, and you'll also have to provide them with an updated resume. If you meet BookNook's requirements, then you will have to complete a one-way interview. BookNook will send you a link to do this, where you're going to complete a one-way interview where you're going to answer some questions and also provide a short teaching demo. You can redo the video as many times as you want until you're happy with it. I really like that aspect of it. It takes a lot of the pressure off, having to kind of get it right that very first time. After you submit your video interview, you'll get an answer back within about a week as to whether or not you are hired with BookNook, and will proceed with the rest of the process in order to become a BookNook tutor. The second step, and somewhat slightly complicated step, or step that I hear a lot of teachers talking about, is the fingerprinting process. Because you're working directly with US schools and in different US states, there are different requirements for fingerprinting and background checks. So you will need to go through this process after getting approved to tutor on the platform. The pain point for a lot of teachers that I hear is that, you know, these locations that you have to get fingerprinted at are different depending on the state, and sometimes they can be far away from tutors and where tutors live. BookNook tells me that in May of 2022, they are actually kind of really improving this process, and they are going to have fingerprinting places within 20 miles of tutors in over 80% of the US. These locations are going to take digital fingerprints, so you don't have to mail anything in, and there's not going to be any out-of-pocket expenses for tutors, which is great. And if you use BookNook's digital fingerprinting process, then you're going to be in a great position to be able to work with more schools in the US. After all of that, you're ready for the training and you'll be up and running in no time to tutor on BookNook's platform. So here's the scoop. BookNook originally contracted with VIPKid to basically have them provide qualified tutors to work on the platform. VIPKid was huge, BookNook was small, and VIPKid was a great source of, teachers that had experience teaching online, that were good with teaching kids, and that had the skills that BookNook were looking for. So this resulted in a lot of VIPKids applying to BookNook, working for BookNook, and being managed by VIPKid. So this is where some of the confusion lay. Questions like, does VIPKid own BookNook? Is BookNook part of VIPKid's program? The answer to both of these is no. VIPKid did not create BookNook, they don't own BookNook, and they don't create the curriculum or anything like that. They're merely managing and providing the teachers to work for BookNook. They're what you would call a partner that hires and manages the teachers. So when you apply to BookNook through VIPKid, you are being hired through VIPKid and you're being managed through VIPKid instead of directly with BookNook. But over the last couple of years, BookNook has grown to a place where they're able to hire and manage teachers directly. So rather than going through VIPKid, you are now able to apply directly with BookNook. So I believe this is great news for potential BookNook teachers, and you might be wondering why. Why not just go through VIPKid? I know VIPKid, they're the ones hiring, it seems. Why not just go through them? So let's talk about some of the potential benefits to applying directly with BookNook. One of the major differences in applying to BookNook through VIPKid is that you are receiving the training, you're receiving the onboarding through VIPKid and not directly with BookNook. In fact, when you get hired through VIPKid, BookNook does not have access to any of your information, they're not able to contact you directly, and they're not able to support you directly with their expertise and their training, which is really what you want as a new BookNook teacher. So essentially you're receiving the training and support through VIPKid, which is a third-party partner hiring and managing the teachers. The people that you're getting your answers from when applying directly through BookNook have direct access to the schools that you're applying to and working with. They know the platform. They are the ones that are providing the platform and the curriculum. So in that way, it really does make a lot of sense to apply directly with BookNook and get that direct training, that direct support and expertise from BookNook qualified staff. Also, when you apply directly with BookNook, you're directly placed into a support community for the schools that you're working for, with teachers that are working in the same area as you are, and so you're able to share stories, build community, and get questions answered quickly, and feel a part of the BookNook community. I think sometimes BookNook teachers that are with VIPKid might feel a little bit displaced because that sense of community may not be there, and you're not working directly with the BookNook staff. And so it can create a little bit of confusion and maybe feel a little bit isolating for you in the beginning as a BookNook teacher. After speaking with lots of BookNook teachers, one of the resounding things I heard was the most challenging thing working with BookNook is not so much the actual teaching itself. That's relatively easy, and VIPKid teachers or any real ESL teachers that have worked with platforms and have taught online would find that part fairly simple. But it's the technology itself. It's actually navigating their system and figuring out how to, deliver the lessons, log in and manage the students and all those kinds of things, because it is quite different than working for an ESL platform. Which brings me to the last feature of working with BookNook directly, and that is that they really listen to their tutors. They really want to make changes, and they are currently making changes to their platform to make that onboarding process easier, to make it more seamless for you, and to make it easier for you as a teacher when you log in and start tutoring your students. So as a BookNook tutor and not a VIPKid BookNook tutor, your opinions, your suggestions, your advice is going directly to BookNook staff so that they can help make those changes and make your experience much better on the platform. And one really key thing I need to let you know, and I'll try to not make this confusing, is that you need to work for either BookNook, that's direct, or through VIPKid BookNook. You can't be contracted with both. So you have to make a decision. Are you going to work directly with VIPKid and that third-party platform to work, get hired, and teach for BookNook? Or are you going to apply directly with BookNook and get the training and support directly from the BookNook team? So there you have it, folks, a run-through of BookNook. some of the backstory with VIPKid, why applying directly might be a good option for you. And honestly, what I hear from a lot of BookNook tutors is how easy and fun it is. The teaching itself, the tutoring part of it, is really simple and straightforward. And the pay is also really decent as well. So if you're US based, you are wanting to diversify, you're wanting to find something else, then consider applying to BookNook directly. I think it's a really good option and it sounds really fun as well. And again, the BookNook application link is in the video description, or you can go directly to onlineteacherdude.com/BookNook. I created a nice short link, easy to remember. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at OnlineTeacherDude. Send me a DM, ask me your questions. I will make sure to get the answers for you as much as I can. And if you've got comments about BookNook, please leave them in the comment section of this video. I respond to every single comment, and I love engaging with you down there. So do make sure to leave a question or a comment if you have one. Until next time, happy teaching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace. Hey, don't go anywhere just yet. These videos might be interesting to watch for you, and if you haven't subscribed, you can do it right here with one click. Also, in the video description, I recommend different products and services and ways that you can work with me further. So don't forget, look in the video description below.